He thought he was in control until the pregnant woman he shoved turned out to be the deputy chief's wife. The late afternoon sun still clung to the parking lot asphalt when Officer Travis Kelton eased his cruiser into the Piggly, Wiggly off Patterson Street in Valdosta, Georgia. Dispatch had labeled it a minor disturbance, and Kelton expected it to be the kind of routine call he could wrap up with a stern warning and be back on patrol before sunset. Then he stepped out of the car and saw her. A woman stood beside a silver SUV, one hand braced against the driver's door, the other clutching a brown grocery bag. Her swollen belly pressed visibly against a light blue dress, a woman deep into pregnancy. He didn't know her name, not yet, but it was Janelle Morris. She and another woman nearby were engaged in a tense exchange. Kelton approached with the kind of clipped, sharp walk that announced he wasn't there for conversation. What's going on here? He demanded, not as a question, but a challenge. Janelle kept her posture steady. Sir, I'm just loading my groceries. That car? She motioned toward a badly dented sedan parked, too close, pulled in tight. I simply asked if they could give me space. The other woman, mid-50s and irritated, immediately snapped. She started making a scene. Kelton's jaw tightened. Ma'am, I'm not here to play referee. Calm down. His gaze locked directly onto Janelle. Her brows lifted. I am calm. You're speaking to me as if I've done something wrong. I'm just trying to get home. Something ego, authority, stubbornness flared in Kelton's eyes. I'm giving you a lawful order. Leave the premises now. You're ordering me to leave after I've paid for my groceries? She blinked in disbelief. Why? Because you're causing trouble, he barked, stepping closer. Nearby, a customer leaning against a shopping cart began to record. Red light blinking. Man, this ain't right, he muttered. Janelle's tone remained steady even as her pulse raced. Officer, I am 8 months pregnant. I've done nothing illegal. I'm not leaving until you explain why you're treating me this way. Kelton's nostrils flared. Ma'am, I'm not going to repeat myself. And then his hand shot out. He shoved her flat-palmed against her shoulder, hard enough that her body jostled into the SUV. The grocery bag tilted, an apple rolled out, spinning across the pavement. Gasps rippled through nearby shoppers. Janelle caught herself, one hand flying instinctively to her stomach. You put your hands on me, she breathed, voice trembling not from fear but anger. You were refusing to comply, Kelton said louder than before, as though volume alone could rewrite truth. The camera kept rolling. Janelle's eyes didn't waver. You have no idea who I am, do you? Kelton smirked. Doesn't matter who you are. You follow orders like everybody else. Her return stare had teeth. You'll regret that. She slid into her driver's seat with quiet dignity and drove away. The man who filmed, 42-year-old mechanic Curtis Hanley, held his phone like it was evidence in a trial. As soon as Janelle left, Kelton turned toward him. Sir, put that phone away. Curtis didn't move. I think I'll keep it for my records. Kelton bristled. That's evidence in an investigation. I can confiscate it. Curtis stepped back, voice ironclad. You're not taking anything. We all saw what you did. Kelton hesitated. Then, sensing the shift around him, he turned and walked away. Curtis stopped recording, but not shaking. He sent the clip to his cousin Cheryl, a paralegal. Less than 2 minutes later, she called back. Do you know who that woman is? No, that's Deputy Chief Raymond Morris's wife. Curtis froze, then let out a low whistle. Well, this is about to go nuclear. It did. Janelle watched the video that evening, tears stinging not from pain, but from the raw injustice of it. When Curtis asked if he could post it anonymously, she breathed once and said, do it. Within hours, the video went viral, leaping from Facebook to Twitter to TikTok. Pregnant woman shoved by Valdosta officer blared across feeds nationwide. Outrage followed like wildfire. By dawn, protesters stood outside the police department holding signs, "Justice for Janelle. Fire Kelton now." Inside, Internal Affairs reviewed body cam footage. Everything matched the viral clip. The shove, the escalation, the total lack of justification. By Thursday morning, Chief Bowers stood behind a podium, the world watching. Effective immediately, Officer Travis Kelton's employment with the Valdosta Police Department is terminated. The crowd outside erupted. Hours later, Kelton stood face to face with Janelle at a side entrance. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, not with defiance, but with a man who finally realized how far he had fallen. She didn't flinch. "You don't get to undo what you did, but maybe you can choose who you become next." He nodded once and walked away, a different man than the one who strutted into that parking lot. Weeks later, life in Valdosta resumed its rhythm. But something was undeniably altered. Strangers greeted each other with new warmth. A community once silent now knew its collective strength. Inside a softly lit nursery, Janelle folded baby clothes with calm resolve. All it had taken was one shove, one camera, one community refusing to stay quiet. Stories like this remind us, her voice echoed later at a church forum, that change doesn't start in courtrooms. It starts the moment someone says this isn't right and chooses to act.